Good afternoon and welcome to DeLange Gibson's four-part seminar series on workforce risk. Today, invest in your employees and they will invest in you. Your workforce. They're probably your greatest asset and your largest expense. In fact, between 30 and 50% of overall business overhead goes toward payroll alone, with employee benefits often a close second. The question is, are you getting the most for your investment? According to Gallup's 2013 State of the American Workplace, only around one-third of employees are actively engaged at work, meaning that they're aligned with your company vision, focused, invigorated by their jobs, and healthy. The remaining two-thirds fall on the scale of mildly to chronically disengaged. These employees may complain of being unwell, and they can be easily distracted. They don't sense that their work matters to the company vision. That lack of drive, low morale, and misunderstanding of your vision can be rotting your company's culture from within. And yet, most of us want to do well at our jobs. So what are we doing that's keeping our employees from achieving their best? Today we are going to focus on three areas where you can gain by investing in your employees. First, hire the right person for the right job. How do you find that right person and keep from hiring either the wrong person or worse, a lawsuit waiting to happen? Next, how do you keep employees focused and engaged? Once you have the right people, how do you keep them? More importantly, how do you create a culture that fosters the creativity and drive to make employees want to do their best every day? Finally, wellness. How can you keep employees healthy and solve the problems that distract them? Hiring the right people. What is the cost of hiring? Hard costs can include advertising, recruitment fees, and travel expenses. And then there's the time it takes to read resumes, interview and assess candidates, and determine offers. Employee turnover not only depletes your resources in terms of time, but can also cost your company anywhere from 16% of an annual salary to replace an entry-level worker to up to 3 times the salary for an experienced executive. And then there is the destructiveness of turnover to productivity, morale, and culture to consider. Preparation is the key to good hiring, and careful hiring is good risk management. So what are some of the key ingredients to a good hire? First, you want to have thorough job descriptions. These are more than just a list of job duties and responsibilities. We want to articulate what it's going to take for someone to succeed at this position. What skills are you looking for? What qualities of character? Similarly, what is your corporate culture, and how do you expect new hires to fit into that? If you're building a culture of collaborative teamwork, are you considering how different personalities and learning styles can work together on that team? And then there are the logistical considerations: query checks, drug testing, skills assessments, and reference checks. Now that you've found and hired the right people, you'll want to keep them. Over one-third of companies spend nothing on training new employees. This can lead to employees quickly feeling overwhelmed and adrift. How can you prevent that? First, the employer has a care of duty to provide employees with a safe work environment. Make sure you've done your due diligence with a competent risk advisor. Then you'll want to have clear expectations and objectives. Employees who know what is expected of them thrive. Set goals with employees and make sure they are aligned with your company mission. Let employees know that their work is important. Having a process from the very first day of providing initial as well as ongoing training can not only ease that new employee into your culture, but can also help maintain the initial enthusiasm most of us feel when starting a new job. How can we keep that enthusiasm? And what is the price paid if we don't? Engaging your employees. As mentioned, numerous studies like the ones by Gallup and Deloitte have shown that anywhere from 35 to 70% of employees are not engaged with their jobs. What does this look like? And what does it mean to your business? A disengaged employee does not feel like he's making a meaningful contribution to the company. He has no sense of ownership in his production. He's there, but there's no investment. These employees are costing your company by their increased absenteeism, their lack of focus, and their lack of productivity. This can cost your company in terms of morale as well as payroll. Let's say that the ABC company is a great place to work, with 100 employees and a payroll of $3 million. 44% of your staff are happily working toward the company mission. Another 36% are satisfied and competent enough, but perhaps not being as creative and enthused as they could. The final 20 are actively disengaged. They're out a lot, they complain, and lower overall morale. With a $3 million payroll, that's $600,000 being spent with little or no return on the investment. What if we can increase the return on that payroll investment? Improving the engagement has been proven to increase the level of productivity dramatically. According to Gallup, companies with a 9-to-1 engaged to disengaged ratio experienced 147% higher earnings when compared with their competition. Turnover and safety incidents decreased, while productivity and profitability increased. Most of us are intrinsically motivated. When we start a new job, we want to do our best. So maybe the question isn't how do we engage our employees, but how do we keep from disengaging them? Only a quarter of employers have an engagement strategy in place. Here are some best practices to boost company morale. First, clarify how you define your corporate culture or brand. What are your values, your vision? Can your employees articulate these? If not, then a starting point could be getting everyone in your organization up to speed on who you are. Employees work better knowing what their ultimate goal is, what is expected of them. Clarifying what defines your company and what role each employee plays in that can go a long way not only to increasing morale, but also to measuring profitability and return on investment. How do you know where your areas of concern are? Employee engagement surveys are a great way to identify risk and opportunity among your employees. From that data, you and your advisors can create a plan of action that will turn your company into the place where employees love to work. Finally, make sure to put your plan into action within a reasonable time frame. Few things will damage burgeoning morale more than unfulfilled promises. And don't forget to reevaluate regularly and address emerging concerns before they become problems. Now that we've hired the best and have processes in place to train and develop that talent, we'll want to keep them healthy. Now that we've hired the best and have processes in place to train and develop that talent, we'll want to keep them healthy. As previously mentioned, chances are payroll and health insurance are two of the largest expenditures in your budget, and those costs are not going down. But benefits and compensation, while important, aren't the only ways to attract and retain your employees. What can we do that will first defray those costs and still engage our employees while making them happier, healthier, and more productive? Wellness. Keeping employees happy, healthy, and focused. Why worry about wellness? Well, most chronic and therefore expensive conditions have their starts in our lifestyles. 80% of healthcare costs are due to 5 manageable behaviors: diet, stress, lack of exercise, drinking, and smoking. Traditional healthcare only treats the conditions created by these behaviors. Wellness programs can focus on helping people improve or eliminate problem behavior before it adversely affects their health. Additionally, employees who are worried about health issues or childcare problems or finances are not focused on their jobs. They often use company time to manage personal problems. They may be more frequently absent, more likely to call in sick, more distracted, and therefore more likely to be injured than the employees who are not so distracted. Corporate wellness programs can improve health and lower medical costs. It can lower workers' compensation and disability claims, absenteeism, while increasing productivity and increasing loyalty. Helping employees with resources to combat these pressures will not only create happier and healthier employees, but those employees in turn will appreciate your investment in their well-being by investing in the vision in your company. There's so much more to a wellness program than just flu shots and blood pressure screenings. Depending on your needs, your wellness program can be comprised of fitness challenges and nutritional counseling, smoking cessation programs, stress management, or even volunteerism. You can customize your wellness program to be as simple or as complex as you want. First, you'll want to identify your specific goals. Start simple with 1 or 2 attainable goals. Then you'll want to find someone to put in charge and set a budget. Make sure your program is voluntary and aligned with employee goals. Gather that employee input from the start. Once you know what your employees need, there are plenty of resources available to fit that need and your budget. And most importantly, have fun and celebrate progress. If structured to your population and need, a wellness program can promote not only good health, personal and professional growth, but also a sense of teamwork and cooperation. At DeLand Gibson, we know these practices can work because we've used them here. We've spent hours developing and refining our hiring process with detailed job descriptions, employee training, and ongoing review procedures, so that new staff not only understands, but embodies the DG way, peace of mind through proactive service. We've surveyed our employees to determine where there were opportunities to improve understanding of our vision and increase staff engagement. Using that data, we've made some changes to our recognition programs that helped remind people how vital their work is. And we've put in place a wellness program that includes lunch and learns on nutrition and financial literacy, as well as some fun and competitive team fitness challenges. None of these solutions are quick fixes, but rather long-term strategies to create a company culture of growth and well-being that brings results. Your employees represent your greatest capital investment. Make sure your return on that investment is bringing you all that you want. DeLand Gibson has a team of advisors to work with you to attract, retain, and cultivate the best talent in the market. Give us a call to discuss how our programs can improve your employees' well-being while increasing your profitability. Thanks for joining us today, and look for our next webinar on HR technology in August.